What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Den Dialogues. Thank you so much for tuning in. Maddy Smith was with us last week. She did a show here at the Den Theater. She was nice enough to sit down just before the show. We didn't have a whole lot of time, but I want to share this conversation with you. She's an awesome girl. I find her comedy super brave, and she refuses to walk on eggshells. She goes for accents that could be offensive, or they have been recently. I love accents. We kind of talk about that a little bit in the podcast. How do you do comedy and not offend? And the answer you'll see she gives is you kind of have to risk sometimes. And if your intentions are good, that's what it's all about. Having a good time, making people laugh, and willing to risk maybe offending people sometimes. It's a good conversation. I hope you listen to it. But check Maddy out. You can see her on her podcast. She's the host of the Madhouse podcast. She's on the TV show Wild and Out. She's a regular at the Comedy Cellar in New York. You can see her there. She tours sometimes with Theo Von and Bert Kreischer. And she played on the Den stage, which I'm super proud of. Did a great job, and we had an awesome weekend. Like and subscribe if you get something out of this podcast, and I hope you enjoy. Maddy Smith. I gotta be straight with you, Maddy. I'm we stop. I'm nervous right now.
Really? Oh my God.
Fucking weird.
Why do you feel nervous?
Come out with
Why?
It
I'm a loser. Don't be nervous at all. Don't be nervous at all. I'm regular. I'm happy to be here.
It's weird. I'm
yeah.
Dude, I'm in my 40s. I haven't felt like that. I'm
That's
getting
so
red. I feel like the only thing to do in that kind of situation is just be just to own it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think when I was younger, I probably would have just been like, fuck, what do I do?
What do I do?
I can't talk again. I'm just
Yeah.
oh shit. We don't have a lot of time.
Don't be nervous. I have a podcast too, and when I have big people on, I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. I feel like everything comes out of my mouth wrong.
Madhouse podcast,
yes. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
How's that going?
It's good. Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a great way to just it's hard. We're all on the road so much.
Yeah.
So it's good to have a dedicated hour to hang out with people you never see, because we're all ships in the night.
Totally.
So you're like, oh, I saw your face at a club where I was a week before you.
Yeah.
And you text everyone, you see them on social media, but you don't get to hang out as much.
Is that almost
a
way that you're it's almost like your social life in podcasting?
It is, yeah. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
But it's cool because then you're like, oh, everyone leaves. They're like, that was really fun.
Yeah.
And you have, now you have a relationship with them a little more. You start texting people more.
Totally.
It's a great way to connect if you're on the road a lot.
Yeah. But it's like a heightened level of hanging out with somebody, right?
For sure.
It's not as normal. I mean, there can't be giant pauses of just
right.
not saying
anything. And you also have to be
be
careful about what you say so you don't get in trouble.
Yes, but you seem to. I've been watching your stuff, especially because we rescheduled this, right?
Yes.
For a little later in the day. So I've been
yes.
watching your stuff all day. I'm my head. I'm is it it was one of the things I was going to ask you about. Is you seem to definitely take a style and approach that's sort of I'm going to be me. One, and I'm gonna also not be afraid. Tell me if I'm wrong here.
That's
but
right. Yeah.
Not be afraid to it's not offend people, but use comedy that could be offensive. Right.
Yeah, I don't really care. It's I'm not a edgelord. I gotta push edgy.
Yeah.
I just say whatever.
Yeah.
And then it just comes out.
So you're not trying to be...
No.
It's you. It's part of your...
It's not in my head, I'm going to do an Indian accent right now.
Right.
Or I'm going to say some shit. It's just we're talking and it comes out. You're blah, blah, blah. And, yeah.
But Indian accents can be offensive. Right? A few years ago,
yes.
It was I felt... I love doing an Indian accent.
Right.
Who the
yes.
fuck doesn't?
They're so fun.
It's or any accent or a white guy accent.
Right. Yeah.
I love doing a white guy accent.
It's hilarious. Yeah. I think as long as you lead with playfulness and your intentions are real, and also if you have a diverse comedians coming onto your podcast and in your social life, you kind of know we all play at each other.
Yeah.
If my lineup of podcast guest was all white people, then it might be what the fuck is she doing? The fuck is she doing? But I had Usama on last week and we were going back and forth with accents.
Totally.
And he was like, oh, my brown people are gonna kill me for this. I'm like, it's all fun. It's all fun and games. I think Wild 'N Out helped too, because being on Wild 'N Out, I realized like in the Black comedy community, we say shit to each other, and it's all laugh. It's all fun and games.
Right.
So when it comes from like a playful place,
it would actually be weird if you were. It's weird when you make it weird.
Agreed.
Right.
I agree with that. When you are like, can I say this? Can I say that?
Yeah.
Just
when
do
you're
it.
too
See what
cautious about
happens.
it, and it's like you just want to be fucking free.
I almost feel like being more cautious means that you're afraid of, oh, they're gonna kill me if I say that.
Right.
And it means you actually think what you're saying is like real and offensive versus me. I'm just trying to write a good joke and have a laugh.
Right.
And I think it comes through because then they're on Wild 'N Out. They're like, yo, she said that. And they're like, you said that. Mm-hmm. And then it's all, you're like, yeah, you can say anything because I trust that I won't fucking say something insane.
Right. And again, your intentions.
I'm not, you know, blah,
Have
blah, blah.
you ever had something that was close to offending somebody, like on Wild 'N Out or anything else? Like,
yeah, there's been flops for sure. You know, like I went against Debrat. Remember her? The 90s rapper?
Oh, yeah.
I said my first joke against her bombed. I think I said she puts hot sauce on pussy before she eats it. And it flopped. Someone in the back was like, that's racist. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then like 2 more jokes, I was back up.
Yeah.
You just try stuff.
Right.
You just try stuff and you learn as you go. But you're never going to learn if you don't try anything.
If you don't risk and go out there.
But if you know in your heart you're not a bad person,
right.
you can trust yourself.
Then you shouldn't have
to say stuff.
That much to fear, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that we're going through a period, at least I see it on stage here at the Den. Like I feel like things have loosened, right?
Yeah.
A little bit. It's like, well, I mean, it kind of has a lot to do with like what's going on
Absolutely.
in our politics and stuff. But it is like, it's like we traded like being able to say accents again and like and like say the R word, like say
yeah.
And for like a world of like total chaos and destruction.
I think the world is in so much destruction that like who's gonna like argue back and forth about comedy? Where comedy's back to us being like little roaches, just observing the world,
right?
And no one. For a second, we were like under a microscope,
right?
And back and forth.
Right. That's what happens when you have too much time on your hand. Honestly, it's like
then you realize there's so many actual fucked up people that you can't nitpick a comedian when there's people destroying the country and the world and being disrespectful as fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's like a lost cause.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's weird. It's crazy, and it's almost like there also an element too though of like that was one of the reasons people I think voted for that though, which was like I'm so tired of being like feeling like I have to walk on eggshells.
Right.
Like I'm a good person.
Right.
Like I don't want to feel like, oh my God, did I say something wrong?
Right.
Somebody's gonna like shut down my business.
Right.
You know?
I know.
And that's why I'm like, I feel like we made a bad deal though. We were like, we
Right.
want to be free, and we want to do that so much, but then it's like, oh great, now we can now, right? But oh shit.
Yeah.
We made a bad deal.
I know, it's nutty. It's nutty. Yeah, I think also like the people who are, you know, like, oh, now we're taking our free speech back. It's like non-comedians and non-performers are saying that. I'm like, no one even, you know, it's like when boomers in your family are like, can I say Chinese? What are you going to cancel me? I'm like, no one knows you exist. Say whatever the fuck you want.
Say whatever.
You're good. Yeah, you're good. Oh, we can't say anything anymore. You're fine. Everyone's fine.
Everyone's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Like nothing's happening to you. Like nothing will change. Yeah, maybe somebody will make a comment.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was real that like there was a time where like I felt being a certain kind of business, like a venue, like you like a theater, a place that has theater and a lot of artistic things. I think there was a time where you did feel like there could be things that could happen to you, but I don't even know how real that was. Where it was like, okay, if you don't have gender neutral bathrooms in your facility, like you're bad and wrong, you know, like something's fucked up.
Stuff like that.
You know, like that. I definitely feel like whether that's right or wrong to do in your establishment, like it's whether or not you feel like something bad's going to happen to you if you don't.
Yes,
like
totally.
That's where it's sort of like,
and maybe like booking a comedian who might be offensive to the theater community that you have here.
Yeah.
Kind of like Shane Gillis getting fired from SNL and Bowen Yang being hired at the same time.
Yeah.
Type of deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you all, like, everything's on a scale, right?
Yes.
It's like everything is like somewhat, you have to use your good judgment,
you have to.
right?
Yeah.
Like nothing is exact and black and white.
And
right?
if you get backlash, you can be like, yeah, I guess I was a little far, but all good. That's why I'm here. I'm learning.
Yeah. Totally. Well, what are you working on now? I'm keeping an eye on time because we got to get you on stage. You're here at the Den Theater. Thank you for coming here.
Yes, I'm pumped to be here. I love like a one big show vibes.
Yeah.
I've been very tired. I'm on the road a lot.
It's you're doing like a lot of 4 or 5
show
shows.
Weekends and burnout.
Yeah.
Burnout City.
So this tour, you've got everything but the ass tour.
Yeah,
right?
I guess so. I just needed something for the flyer. But I'm touring indefinitely. But touring's cooking now. I'm gonna film a special this year.
Sweet. Is this your first special?
First special, yeah.
Congrats.
I started headlining in 2022, and I think I went out a little too early. You know how agents will just push you out there.
Yeah.
So it was like I definitely had like 28 minutes.
I've always been like curious about that strategy with agent, like going not at the right time and also doing too many shows.
Yes.
Like I feel like the build should be like cautious.
It used to be way more sustainable. It used to be 10 years in, you get passed at a club in a city.
Oh yeah.
15 years in, you hit the road.
Yeah.
Now it's like agent sees you. The agents know if you're someone who's getting a little heat within their own, and they'll show up. They'll show up at a show and say, "Hi, I'm blah 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 from blah blah blah. Let's get you booked." They don't, and that didn't really happen to me because I had been doing stand up. Then I got on Wild 'N Out, but it was still early for me. But I'll see a new, social media person. They'll start to do stand up, and within a week, an agent signs them, and then they got a year-long tour. That's wild.
Wow.
Mine was more like...
Are they just like throwing things out there?
Throwing it out there. I think it's a big money maker. And some people can figure it out. They get out there. They're like, oh my God, I got to get my hour together. And then other people, it's big
But what are they
equation
riding
for
off
burnout.
Of? Is it just like, is it mostly they have a social media, like an online presence, and that is what can enable them to do?
Yeah. I had it because a little online and then a TV credit, Wild 'N Out. Post-COVID, everyone wanted to book people. So I got like early, but it was a grind at first. You perform in New York City, that's like your people. So you're funny there, but you got to figure out how to do an hour in front of people in Kansas and Omaha. And
does that mean does it also translate into sales or not? Like if you sell like in New York, you work at the Comedy Cellar a lot, right? Which is awesome.
It's awesome.
It's got a built-in
built-in
space,
so I never had to sell tickets before I started doing the road. And at first it was rough because Wild 'N Out followings is everywhere from America to the other countries in the world. It's like, so on paper I had 150,000, but that's like, that could mean that I would go out, do 5 shows in Edmonton, Canada. My ticket sales on Monday before would be like 12, 15. I'm like, damn. So it was not a struggle, but it was hard at first. You leave a 5 weekend show with a $1,300 check, stuff like that.
Right.
A tiny little, and you're like, what the hell? And then you start building your reputation. You build your little markets, word of mouth. You go back to a club, more ticket sales. Okay.
Right.
And then you start building your socials. People talk.
Yeah.
You do friends podcasts. You become like an established. You do
How important
clips.
is the podcast circuit?
I think pretty important.
Yeah, for comedians, like, do you have to do it pretty much?
I know you enjoy it. I think you can get away with not, but I think it's a huge boost for when you put stuff out. All your friends will say, watch this special. Like, it's like a lot of comedy right now is the endorsement of people. You'll see a lot of specials are like Nate Bargatze presents or someone presents. And that could be more valuable than like Netflix.
Yeah.
If you have the backing. Like I opened for Theo. Like if Theo like sponsored a special, it would probably skyrocket.
Bert as well,
Bert,
right?
Yeah. So it's like that kind of thing, and it's just showing like you're in with everyone. I don't think it's necessary, but if you are in with everyone, it definitely helps. It's a good community.
Yeah.
Too.
Are you pretty close with a lot of comedians?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
most of your friend group and
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm pretty much cool with everyone.
That's awesome.
And you go to festivals, you see everyone, and it's nice to see people because they're all out there alone as well. So then you regroup and you're like, what's up going on out there?
Yeah.
You get some tea, and then they'll say, like, it looks like you're killing it. And you're like, wow, that's good to hear. Because if you're out there alone, you have no idea.
Right.
You have no idea.
So it's like you come back and connect and
Yeah.
it's a cool community. I mean, you know, it's weird from the outside watching you guys because you are an interesting breed
we're
of
freaks.
humans.
Freak show. It's not normal at all.
It's fun. I mean, extremely like perceptive people, smart.
Yeah.
Not necessarily always like fully educated, but sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes
but
you
smart
have,
in other ways.
Yeah.
Intuitive and anxious. Everyone's anxious as fuck.
I definitely. Yeah.
Everyone's what do people think of me? Everyone thinks I'm cringe. Everyone thinks I'm a loser.
Yeah.
And social media just heightens that too because it's so vulnerable.
Yeah. You gotta be. Yes, you're putting yourself out there so much.
And a lot of it is I don't want other comedians to see my corny clip. Mm-hmm. That's the vibe. But you have to pretend. Like for me, I pretend when I'm posting like I'm the only comedian in the world, and this is only going to like fans. I'm not like blinders on.
Oh, really?
Like,
so you have to like kind of shut that part of your brain off so you can get it done?
Yeah. Like this is marketing. This is marketing for my business.
Because otherwise, would you get like perfectionist? Either you'd be
like, you can
I
get
have to
sucked
make
in.
this so perfect, otherwise I can't have my peers see it. Or like, that's how I would get it.
Or like, what's the use of a clip if it didn't go crazy?
Yeah.
But I try to just...
You just got to get them out,
put it out, and it's just marketing for the bigger thing, which is the show.
Yeah.
Because people get away from the live aspect when you get sucked into the socials and the clips.
Right.
I'm like, clips are just advertisement for the product.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, like how you could get, if you got bad, you'd get to every moment where you're thinking about like, oh, how is this? We need this 30 seconds. It's a good clip right here. Like,
totally. I have a social media guy because I can't be going through and I don't know what's funny for clips really anymore. I have no idea. Mm-hmm. I've watched so much of my own stand-up that I'm like, I had to get someone else. He sifts through stuff, and I told him, cut anything out and post it. I don't care.
That's so great, though, if you get somebody that's actually good at that and doing it all the time. And then it's just, you don't have to.
Then you don't have to
mess with it.
Regret. You don't have to look at a clip and say, I fucking should have cut off 2 seconds before it ended. I should have said this. I should have shortened it. No. Yeah. Because that's not
you have to trust the person that you're working
and just go with it.
Right?
And remember, it's just like pushing more stuff out there, consistency. As long as the clip reflects like your comedy and your voice, it's just more fodder for people to buy tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you going to continue to do Wild and Out?
Yeah, for sure.
How did that come about? It seems like such a, I mean, you seem perfect for it now. You know, I'm
it's
like,
so random. It's so random. In New York, I saw a posting that said like Wild and Out's auditioning rap battlers and roast battlers. I used to do roast battles in the city.
Did you do those before Wild and Out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, like so you were already
2017 to 2019.
But what attracted you to that? Like, were you?
Oh, just people were doing it, and I was like, oh, it'd be a good way to get more exposure.
Yeah.
No, I was not like, I gotta get up there and, cause now I know like if I did roast battles again, if I could go back in time, I would probably take a beta blocker, because like the way that it gave me so much anxiety to do those, memorizing jokes, getting the lines out. They're laughing at what the other person's saying, so you gotta figure out. I definitely, and for Wild and Out too, I probably would have been Klonopin if I could go back and Profiterol or whatever.
Is a beta blocker's like
heart rate slows down your heart rate and your physical reactions to.
Yeah, it's what you take if you're like afraid to fly on a plane.
Exactly.
Right? You just you don't care. The plane will be going down. And
don't care. Let's go. And that's what I should have done for. The anxiety made me good at the roast battle and the Wild and Out, but I definitely got premature gray hairs from how much I was bending over backwards.
I think a little bit of anxiety is good.
Yes,
right?
Agreed.
But it's like, how do you know at what point?
At what point? Yeah.
Yeah. Because the beta blockers are like, they're really like dangerous, right? And
I've never taken them.
Like,
I've never taken them, and I probably won't ever do a roast battle again. So it's all good. But I realized this year, like looking back, like my physical reaction to doing those was not normal. Like losing one of those roast battles. Now looking back, I'm like, it doesn't matter. Right. But if I lost one, I would like immediately tears coming down my face, like a physical reaction.
Wow.
And I'm like, back then I was like, I'm so emotional. Now I'm like, that was not a normal response.
Yeah, it was too much.
Yeah, I think I have like rejection dysphoria, which is like just fear of embarrassment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So,
you're being like you were like micro traumatizing yourself.
For sure. For sure. That's what it was. So I did all these roast battles because they had roast masters, roast battle, comedy fight club in the city, and you go up against one person and call them gay, call them fat. He would call me a slut. I did those, and then luckily roast masters was a YouTube. It was like one of the early YouTube, Louis J. Gomez, through like Legion of Skanks. And that was like an early YouTube. I mean, it was like 15K, but back then you're like, wow, it's a big show.
Yeah.
So I had all these tapes of me doing roast masters. So I sent it in, and then I auditioned, and then they flew me down for like more auditioning in Atlanta, and I quit my job, and I was like, I'm gonna make this work.
What were you doing at the time?
Finance.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you had like an office job. Like,
yeah.
Totally. But you were already a comedian.
Yeah, I was already a comedian, shows every night, like alt shows and little club spots. And then...
Were you like, this is my shot?
Yeah.
Were you thinking
I was.
with this?
I was like, I will make this work. I'm done with this. Because I was getting this feeling like a few months before, like I need to get out of this lifestyle of like 9 to 5 and then 5 to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And then repeat.
Totally.
It was so tiring.
And did you like your job at all in finance?
It was good money. It was easy. It was, if I actually didn't do comedy, I would have loved that job. It was a good firm. It was like, had good work-life balance. Everyone there was nice. It wasn't like Goldman Sachs, like crazy. It was like very balanced.
Then you must have really wanted like the comedian lifestyle and like performing and like you must have, because if you're in a good job where you're like making money, I mean, most people are like, I couldn't fucking stand what I was doing. I had to get out. Like
totally. I was like, fine. It was more just the tiring, the commuting after sleeping for only a few hours.
Yeah.
Just like exhaustion.
Yeah.
And putting on the clothes, the boxy corporate clothes. And no one at my job knew I did comedy. Yeah. So they just thought I was tired all the time for no reason. It was awful.
Like, what's with this girl?
Yeah, what's with her? She's so exhausted. And then I go out and then I go to shows in like a pencil skirt and then I do it again. And I knew like something's got to give at some point.
Yeah.
And then I went down there. They had like 5 days of auditioning in which each day the group would get smaller and smaller. Until one day I was just...
It's like a tournament. Like
it
you
is.
enter
it
like
is.
A big
The executive
battle.
producer circled us up day one. He was like, this circle's going to get a lot smaller. I'm like, okay.
That's great.
But I felt from the beginning I was...
Were you nervous? Did you have anxiety for that?
Yeah, but it was like anxiety that I put into work. Like I would go home from the auditions and just watch Wild 'N Out and come in the next day with more jokes and more jokes so that I would show them that I was worth hiring.
Right. And you were kind of like... You'd kind of been preparing for a long time for it in a way because of what you were...
Yeah, stand-up and roasting.
Yeah.
Like I knew funny.
Yeah.
And
that's your thing, though, is like quick on your feet, being like bold about like going for moves, not caring that much what happened, like just letting it ride. So that seems like a perfect fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are we at? Oh, we only got a few minutes.
Yeah, we'll do like 7:05. That works.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to do a show. And
Me too.
Thank you again for like coming up here, doing this podcast before the show.
Of course. Gets me warmed up.
You're gonna crush tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be fun. And then you've got like a little bit of a tour left. You're going to Austin.
Yep, Austin, Raleigh. Then booking some more stuff. I switched agents, so there's like a little bit of a lag when you get a new agency.
Yeah, totally. You're with WME, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love WME.
Love WME.
Yeah.
Fire.
They're great. Who's your agent over there?
Daniela Garofalo.
I love Daniela.
Love her.
She's so great.
Shout out. Love
Oh my God,
Berkowitz.
we've been working with her for a long time.
That's awesome.
Berkowitz is the man.
Love them.
I love Berkowitz. It's like whenever I get an email from Berkowitz, it's just like it's very short.
Yes.
And he's like, this is what's happening.
Yes.
Like I'll be back and forth with everybody, and then
like,
and then I'm just like, okay.
He's a man. He's no bullshit.
No, he's no bullshit.
Yeah.
And the thing is at first I was like, I remember at first I was just like, I maybe wanted to push back on something, and I was like, but then I thought about like what he was saying and the decision that he was making, and I'm like, damn, he's good. Like that's right.
Yeah, he is.
Like that's the right decision.
Yes. Yep.
So I was like, I learned that about him. I haven't seen him in a long time. He came by here once with Sam for Sam Morril's special.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
he showed up
That's
and
great.
got to meet him. He's pretty cool dude.
He's cool.
So,
Yeah. No bullshit.
That's great that you're with them.
Yeah.
They can open a lot of doors.
Yeah,
We're
agreed.
super grateful for them because they've given us a lot of really like great performers. So hopefully we'll be. You never know how long, whatever the comedy train's gonna stay hot.
Bubble could burst soon, so we'll see.
Yeah, and so just hopefully it's a good time for comedy. Though,
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But yeah, touring.
So touring.
A lot of that. I am working on a movie script.
Sweet.
And I want to get into.
So you're a writer?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I've always wrote. I was the editor of my school newspaper.
Okay.
So I have good with prose, And then this past year, I realized I just want more variety.
Mm-hmm.
And I love movies. And I want to get into comedy and rom-com writing, like formulaic 90-minute.
There's a need for that.
Agreed.
Right now.
Back in the day, it was every year there was a new Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Then it was Will Ferrell, and then and then even before that, it was Christopher Guest with all those mockumentary, 90 minutes formula.
Totally.
And that's what I want to get into, just like standard.
Yeah,
standard
we need
flicks.
more of that.
I know.
God, I can't tell you how I just want to like watch a movie and laugh my ass off
I know.
right now.
Yeah, I know.
And not for it to be too serious or
Agreed.
whatever, but
Yeah.
but good quality.
Just
though.
playful. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
So you've got it written already?
Yes,
So
I
then
finished. But yeah, I gotta go through second draft, about 80 pages now, and going through. I sent it to my friend Bonnie McFarlane. Shout out. She's sold a few movies, so I sent it to her, and she gave me a couple notes. So I'm just gonna go through and implement those, and then just probably send it out, and then start working on the next one.
Nice.
Because not married to anything. Just wanna get stuff out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, good luck with that. We'll keep an eye out
Thank
for
you.
it.
Yeah.
Are you going to like update it on your stuff like that on your website? I guess you're early in the process.
Early,
right,
yeah,
with
yeah.
that.
But we'll see. If it sells, it sells. If not, like very excited to have like contacts at Netflix and like Judd Apatow's team that now I know, like, if the contacts are there, you're more motivated to write and like get it done.
Totally.
Yeah.
How do you I'm sure there's a lot of competition. I mean, it seems like you're in a good position with like connections, right?
Yeah.
Like, or at least if you've got something good, you can push that. I feel like when you have something like that, you've got a window that you can't abuse, right?
Right.
It's like, you can't be like pushing on whoever, like someone like Judd or like when you bring something to someone like that, right?
Yeah.
You got to at least, it's got to show some promise.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Is that, I mean, how do you feel about that aspect of it? Of I guess if you just keep going with the consistency.
Yeah, I think if you keep going, it's similar to when I started stand up. I was like, if I just keep going, something's going to happen. I'm not going to be 50 with 18 scripts that never went anywhere. If I am, I don't think we would still be with, I don't think it would still be WME being like another pass. Something's got to happen, right? So
it's either that or you'll move on, right?
Or you move on, and you're like, okay, noted.
Try something else.
But I think, what was I going to say? I think, like Bonnie said, make the script so that if it gets in front of an actor's eyes, it's so good that they are like, I want to be in this. Mm-hmm. So you also think about the director you want to work with and think about the people you want to be in it. So if I want like Toni Collette to be in it, you want her to read it and be like, whoa, this is fire.
I don't know. So like, this is always the question I have, and maybe that's totally right. What the fuck do I know? But like I feel like with comedians, this happens. I hear this a lot too, or with anybody doing anything. It's like, hey, here's the formula. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're writing, make sure you write to, fit an actor in that they have a great role.
Yeah.
But then, like if you start doing that, like I guess a little bit of that may be good, but like what is the most important thing is like being you.
Yeah,
like bringing
totally.
you to the table.
I think it's like bringing you and also fulfilling in the boxes of that.
If you can achieve both with a good balance, I think that's
the way to go.
Right. But there's some people that like, it's like they'll be like, oh, here's the formula, you know, here's how I can get, so many followers or whatever.
Right.
And it's just like, it seems not to ever work. It's usually the people that are like, this is what I bring to the table and I'm passionate about this and I'm like going for it.
Yeah.
And maybe they have a little bit of that
Yeah,
intelligence to do some
totally.
of the right things.
I think you lead with being yourself with the tools of
you do.
the formula.
That's how you do with your comedy, it seems like.
Thanks,
you know, and you're like,
I try to, and then, I'll watch comedy and be like, oh, you can do that in that way.
Yeah.
If the way someone tells a joke, you're like, oh, look at that. It's like gathering inspo while still staying yourself.
Yeah.
And also knowing executives will probably not buy a first movie if it's not a formula.
Yeah.
Knowing like maybe down the road you can experiment a little more.
You get a little more freedom.
It's like when you start stand up, don't go crazy with different like styles. Like try to do like the standard and then use that base to expand.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. That's our time. We got to go do a show.
Yes.
I'm so happy you sat down.
We could do a post show, sit down too if you want.
All right, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll come back. We'll see how we feel. See if we get, if you're still standing. I know you've been doing a lot. But where can people find you?
You can find me all my social media. So Maddy Smith, MaddySmithComedy.com for tour dates, and that's it.
Awesome. And we'll leave links down below for your tour dates as well.
Sounds good.
So go check Maddy out. Can't wait for the show tonight.
Me too.
Thank you so much, Maddy.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Cheers. Thank you for
coming
up here and doing this.
Yes, it was great.
No, it was so weird.